All right, welcome back, everybody, to What I Wish You Knew About Your Wedding. And today we have another special edition of Take It From a Bride and Groom. So we have both today. We have a beautiful couple here with us today. Thank you guys so much for being here. We have Erik and Kalauna. Thank you guys, really, truly, thank you for your time, for blessing us with your time. And it's a lot. I know you guys, you took off work, and it's a big ask. And so we appreciate you, and I'm sure everybody watching is going to appreciate the information we're about to share, because we are about to walk through your wedding day, which is always really fun, right? And bring back those memories a little bit. First, though, let's have you guys, in whichever order you would like, let's have you guys just introduce yourselves, a little bit about yourselves, maybe what you do, hobbies, anything you want to share with people.
Yeah, of course. My name is Kalauna. I am a charcuterie business owner and a postpartum doula. And this is my lovely husband.
I am Erik. I am a project coordinator for an underground utilities company, and I am my beautiful wife's assistant in all of her endeavors.
Yeah.
So
The way it should be, right?
Yeah.
anything she
Very,
asks.
very supportive, very supportive. We love it. And okay, so let's just talk about let's just set this a little bit for the audience. Like, tell us just a little bit about like your love story, how you met, and how we got to this place to where you guys had this beautiful wedding.
Well, we matched with each other on Bumble
Okay.
and then followed each other on Instagram. And then I'll let you take over the story from here.
Oh, here we go. That's always a good sign.
This is the embarrassing part. No.
Okay.
So I was kind of trying to get her to go on a date with me, and she said no like 4 times.
I didn't say no. I said maybe.
She said maybe, we'll talk in a little while. But I was persistent and continued to ask. And eventually I remember one of the things that I had texted her was, or messaged on Instagram was, what is it going to take to get me to get you to go out on a date
What is
with
it
me,
gonna
take you to
take?
coffee?
Great
What
question.
do I need to say?
Like, what do I
do?
need to
Like,
do?
like, what is it? Because
Like
I
asking
knew she was
ChatGPT.
gorgeous. I knew that she would be good for
Yeah.
me. So
No, and it was so
Um,
sweet. When I read that, I was like, okay, he seems like a very sweet guy.
Just trying.
He's trying. I'll go to coffee with him. And so I ended up going to coffee, and then we had like a 4 to 5 hour conversation and just like connected. I'm so thankful for his persistence on asking me. And then afterwards we went out to eat and talked for another 3 or 4 hours there. And ever since then we've been inseparable. Like,
Yeah.
we've been each other's biggest cheerleaders, and I'm very thankful.
No, definitely can see that, like in what you guys do, and like in your own personal social media and stuff like that. Like it's, and then like from seeing you guys at the wedding and like just the way you guys interacted and cared for each other, it's like it was just very clear that you guys are like a team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like like that you guys were very supportive of each other, and just and to be honest, in the way that I saw you guys interacting when you were doing photos and making the little videos and stuff, and seeing how you participate, like there's a lot of times where I see a disconnect in that sense. Like
Mhm.
it's like there's the bride and her bride's party and groom and groom's
Yeah.
party, and not that they don't love each other, but then there's just couples are different and
Mhm.
everybody's different, and that's totally cool. But
Yeah.
watching you guys just like really, you guys just like were genuinely like, I people think like I don't notice or I don't pay attention, but I see everything, and it's like I saw you guys like just having like just a good time, like
Yeah.
taking photos, making videos that I got to see later on,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, that's what they were doing. That's cool. Like
You
like
got to see the behind the scenes.
yeah. So no, you guys are just a beautiful couple, and that's a cool story. Like I love that she shut you down, and then but you stayed on it, and
Yeah.
it worked out, and here we
So
are.
sweet. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into the wedding day, and let's get into some of like just the specifics first.
Mhm.
So tell us about when you could tell us like the date when you got married, and tell us what the name of the venue was and where it was.
Yeah, of course. We got married September 27th of 2025, so about a month and a half ago. And we chose Gold Coast Farms
Mhm.
in Aliso Viejo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then when you found that venue, what was the draw to that venue? Did somebody recommend it, or did you find it on your own? Like what drew you to that venue specifically?
In truth, I looked online to see like what was budget friendly for a DIY bride.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that venue is a very DIY type of venue,
Mhm.
but they do have some things that you could rent from that location, and which helps because it eliminates having to deal with multiple vendors.
Yeah, because then you have to manage more.
Yeah. Oh
more
my
things,
gosh.
yeah.
So it just simplifies a lot. And they offered bar service and along with renting stuff. And honestly, we chose that venue because when we visited like one other venue before that someone recommended to us. It was
Mm.
word of mouth, but they were like way over budget, and that didn't include even bar service.
It was extremely overpriced, and I'm not one to bash people or bash something, but with the price associated with that venue, there were a lot of things that just me being a background in construction, I'm like, that's not safe. That's not right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just have cords running through the
Right.
middle of brush that's super dry
Yeah.
with lighting that's nail gunned to the tree.
Yeah.
Like,
And this
Yeah.
was the venue before
Yeah,
we
yeah,
visited
yeah,
this
uh-huh,
one.
yeah.
so I was like, you know what? I don't,
And the concrete was unleveled in the dance
Yeah,
floor area.
oh, yeah.
And so
it just wasn't,
we were
it's
just like, this is not what we wanted. And then
gorgeous, but not. not
it was
quite
a
us.
nice venue, but way overpriced for what it offered. And then we visited this venue, and it was just a beautiful blend of our personalities. As you can tell with
Yeah.
like his attire, he's more country
No,
western.
outdoor. Yeah,
Yeah,
outdoorsy. yeah,
outdoorsy.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then I love like the fact that it was very whimsical and very
No,
welcoming.
it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it had a lot of features that were like really cool. That it. I mean, it's like it's weird because it's like it's not a long walk, and then you're hitting
Mhm.
asphalt and pavement,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but inside like 6 feet, it's like a whole nother place. Like
Uh-huh.
it's like
It
it's
was like an
it's weird.
entirely
It was
different
weird
world.
for me.
Yeah.
Because that was my first time, not as a DJ company, but like that was as DJ company, no, but as me as a DJ, that was my first time there,
Yeah.
and I was really surprised because like literally you just walk through those little wooden gates or whatever they were made of, and it's like whoa,
Yeah,
like-
the like white picket fence.
and that little
Yeah.
ceremony site is tucked away, and it looks like
Yeah.
a whole different place.
Yeah.
And it's up against a hillside, and
Yeah.
it almost feels like you're tucked away in a
No.
valley. That's
Yeah, it
Oh,
feels
yeah,
it feels like you're at the bottom of a foothill or something. Like it was really
No,
interesting.
definitely.
Yeah. So you guys basically you found your venue in 2 stops.
Yeah.
It
I
was
think
very quick.
it was only like we got engaged, and then 3 days later we found our venue.
Yeah.
We went and looked.
You
at
didn't
the
have to
venue
go
very
see a
soon.
bunch
Yeah.
of them or anything like that.
No, yeah.
That's cool. Okay. So we're talking about budget. We're already getting into that. You're already mentioning that
Mhm.
buzzword. So for budget, what was your budget that you said like, okay, this is because I honestly believe that's where everybody should start is like,
Yeah.
what can we afford?
Yes.
Because if you don't do that first, it's just bad news. I think you're going to start spending money and then it's going to add up, and you're going to then if you do try to do the reverse and say, oh, I only want bad idea. So what did you originally set in your mind? Like, this is what we want to spend.
Mhm.
And then approximately what did you end up spending?
I think both of us, we wanted to spend between 12 to 15K,
Okay.
Right
but
about
we
there.
ended up spending 17K.
17K.
17 for
Yeah.
sure. And that
Okay.
was-
Yeah, something, but we didn't want to go above 20K.
Oh, no.
because that
There's
is
no
like-
reason to,
no,
in my opinion.
No, honestly.
No,
there's-
I really, I mean, I don't, you know.
Yeah, and in truth, I believe that you could have a beautiful wedding without having to spend a down payment on a house.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or having to take out loans or put yourself in debt.
Yeah,
or-
no, and we did not want to put anything on credit cards,
Right.
because the wedding is a launch for your future, and if you're already going into debt over
Yeah.
your wedding,
Starting at negative is not.
Yeah.
Not a good-
It wasn't ideal for the two of
Yeah.
us.
Well,
and
I'm
you-
sure there are people who have to, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's people that probably do DIY weddings and they don't even have 10K, so maybe they
Yeah.
take out a small loan, and that's
no,
that's reasonable. But I can tell you, as someone who consumes so much content of wedding content and like sees so many horror stories, it's like, and I'm sure you guys have like people that regret having these 60, 70,000, like
yeah,
because they realize how in retrospect they'll say how unimportant it was to have
Mhm.
the specialty linens and the upgraded chairs
Yeah.
and upgraded this and upgraded that, and
how
you know,
goes by so fast too.
Yeah.
the day
And
itself.
the day of, you don't notice those things. Like,
Mm-mm.
don't get me wrong, they're walking around because she had time. She sat inside for a majority of it. I had a little bit of time where I walked around as things were getting ready.
Yeah.
She was getting into her dress and doing
Yeah.
all of her stuff. I was in essentially this with a nicer suit cover on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I was walking around and I was like, oh, this is very nice. This is beautiful. I don't remember ordering that. I don't remember having
Yeah.
like, but it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
after the ceremony, I'm so focused on her and she's so
Right.
focused on me that
Mhm.
where we sat didn't matter.
Yeah.
Where we danced didn't
Matter,
matter.
yeah.
It was the fact that we were sitting together, that we were dancing together, that we had that time.
Exactly.
That's what was important to us.
Yeah.
And so in the grand scheme of things, some of the decisions we made where it was like, keep it
Mhm.
simple, keep it
Yeah.
easy,
Yeah.
and make it to where you're focusing on the event, the ceremony, rather
Mhm.
than everybody else who's coming.
And I think beforehand, even before we got engaged, we discussed like what was our priority
Yeah.
for a wedding.
Uh-huh.
And we focused on those 3 or 4 things and put more of our budget into 3 or 4 things. And then the rest was like, you know what? If someone comes up and is able to assist in that, awesome.
Yeah.
Or, it's not as important. We don't need to have like a crazy theme in order to have attention.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
about us.
Yeah. It's about you guys. No,
Yeah.
I agree. No, that's cool. Did when you were getting ready for this,
Mhm.
did you look into? I know you had a day of coordinator.
Yes.
Did you have a planner at all, or
Our day of coordinator was also
doing
our
planning?
planner.
Okay, she did some planning
was
for
a
you
great
too.
help with before and
Okay.
after. And because of my charcuterie background and also having family members be married beforehand, I was able to learn like what is really important and
Right.
what we don't need. And it's like it's good to prioritize the comfort of the guests, but you don't need to buy like those little thank you gifts. You don't
No.
need like you don't need to like go
don't.
in debt over
You
those little
don't.
things.
Yeah.
A simple like little card or just something, even if I've seen people hand write things.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we had like such a large number.
No, it would.
Our hands would have been cramping by the end of the
Insane.
day.
When people do that, it's
Mhm.
like so much effort. Like I commend
Yeah.
them, but it's like,
Yeah.
would I like to do that? Sure, but it's like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
where's the time for that? Like,
No, 100%. So
would have had to start writing those like a year ago.
yeah, yeah.
Same time you're planning, as soon as you put a guest in, all right, let me write their thank you.
Yeah, might as well. Let's
'Cause
just-
I ain't gonna
Okay.
do this later.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because we planned our wedding within 6 months.
Okay,
It was-
that's
Yeah,
pretty
and
quick.
so we got engaged, got our venue, and then 6 months down the road, we got,
Yeah.
got
But I also
everything
think
going.
the 6 months timeline was a good idea because it helped with decision making, where we didn't have a lot of time to
In between.
sway
Oh my
this,
goodness,
that.
yeah.
Change your mind.
Once we made a choice, all
had
right,
to
that
go.
was our decision.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Lock
moving.
it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Yeah, I could see how having a shorter timeline does force you to make decisions quicker, and then like just like nope, done deal.
Yeah.
Versus, well, yeah, when you do have so much time, you can go. If you have too long, I could see how you could. It's an interesting point because you could go back and forth. It gives you more
Oh my
time
goodness,
to rethink or reconsider.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you end up like, I'm sorry, but as a bride, the more time I had, I would like constantly need reassurance from
Yeah.
him being like, hey, did we do a good choice? Did we make this? And I could just imagine if I had a whole year to ponder, I would be second guessing myself and not feeling,
Constantly, yeah.
constantly. And then stuff with social media and things that is posted all the time of just like what other brides do.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you have to remind yourself like the importance of, hey, this is my wedding
Mm-hmm.
with my soon to be husband, and it's our story.
Yeah.
That's their beautiful story, but
Right.
what makes our story
Yeah. Exactly.
beautiful and endearing?
Well, that's what's fun about weddings for me is they're all so different, and
Yeah.
and I'm indifferent when it comes to, I am a big I'm a big proponent of like I can't stand when someone criticizes someone else's wedding or choices because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like we're not meant to judge others, and there I think it is okay to be like, well, that's a lot. Like that's not for me. Like that's a
Yeah.
little too far. That's a little too crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. But then to like just like completely criticize or
Mm.
even if people are spending an excessive amount of money, that's their choice. Like if they
Yeah.
want to have 100,
Totally.
like do it. Like if that's what you feel, and so it's really, I think the one thing I want to pull out of what you just said is
Mhm.
how overwhelming social media can be in the sense of looking at what other people are doing and being like, oh, should I do that, or like do
Mhm.
I need to do that, or like, and it's like I think people should do exactly what you said. It's like take a step back and remember it's about you, not what other people are doing. And you should never compare one wedding to another. And you should definitely not compare your wedding to someone else's, because it's your day and your wedding.
Yeah.
You know, when people start doing that, comparing, it's bad. It's bad.
No.
I think that
Yeah.
makes for disappointment, anxiety, stress.
It
You
makes
know?
you doubt yourself. And there's some people who are extremely blessed that have an unlimited budget
Right.
and they can do some crazy things, which is like, that's fantastic for them.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
great.
other people who they can make $2,500 spend like 25,000. And so, and there's people who are blessed with that kind of mindset. So anywhere in between,
Right.
it's about you.
Yeah.
You have to be focused on what makes you two happy. And for
Oh,
me,
yeah.
it was, as long as she walked out of it with a smile on her face and tears of joy, not tears of sadness
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
regret,
Yeah.
it was a win. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
So one time I did this wedding, just to digress a little bit, and
Mhm.
that they were brain surgeons from New York,
Yeah.
and they had all the money in the world.
Yeah.
She had the simplest dress. There was
Yeah.
minimal floral.
Yeah.
They did not. But I think because even when people do have money, it's that some, again, like even people that are blessed or have that like I've done weddings for people that are extremely wealthy,
Yeah.
and the wedding is so simple.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
because they understand the value of money.
Yeah.
And it's like, for them, that would have been a waste, because it's like, they know it, that for them, it was more about the wedding ceremony and being with friends and family versus putting on a show, or, worrying about a lot of people worry about guests not being impressed or entertained.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, again, nothing wrong with that. You want to impress your guests, you have the money to do that, you want to entertain them.
Mhm.
But I do think it's important that people understand that, like, you don't have to worry about that,
No, because
because they're there for you.
yeah, exactly. The people that you invite, I hope, like, for us, the people that we invited had made an impact on our lives, and we wanted them to see that their prayers and their, good wishes, amounted to something beautiful.
Yeah.
And when it came to like entertainment, we knew that at the end we were the entertainment.
You are.
They were seeing
It's
our
really- yeah,
love
it is.
story.
Yeah. That's what everybody wants. They
Mhm.
gravitate, because people always ask me, like, how do I have a successful dance floor? I'm like, stay on the dance floor,
Mhm.
because people are going to go where you go.
Yeah.
If you're at the bar, they're at the bar with you.
Yeah.
If you're at a table, you're sitting down, they're going to gather around you. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
are going to go where you go. They're going to follow you, because ultimately they're there for you.
Oh yeah. Yes.
So it's like, hey, whatever is most important to you,
Mhm.
it's like, then be there, because that's where people are going to be. So if you really love the photo booth, go to the
Yeah.
photo booth and hang out and take pictures with everybody,
Yeah.
because that's where they'll be. And there will be no one on the dance floor. I can't compete with a couple that's at the photo booth all night.
Yeah.
I can't. I'll get a little bit of dancing, but if they never come to the dance floor,
Mhm.
I'm never going to get that fully packed dance floor.
Yeah, no, definitely. I saw something online that said like the bride and groom are supposed to be the guests of honor.
They are.
You're
The
not,
VIPs.
yeah, the VIPs. You're not there to like the guests are the guests,
Mhm.
but you are the focal point of
Absolutely.
the entire event.
Yeah.
And I think just being reminded of that is just so helpful, because it's easy to
Yeah.
get overwhelmed.
Yeah, because way early out, they're not RSVPing because they know what you're going to have.
Oh yeah, no.
Nobody.
No.
They're just, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And I think
You're the main attraction.
There's a big change. A lot of times people think of it, like you said, it's about the guests. Let's entertain, let's surprise. But at the same time, to your note, that if you're going to put on this party, you're going to put on this huge production,
Mhm.
it has to be a production about you guys.
Mhm.
It has to be a
It has to
production
be you. It
about,
still has to be you.
about you.
Yeah.
And if they enjoy that, that's fantastic. If it wasn't for them, they're more than welcome to leave early.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You
Thanks
guys
for coming
came
to
for
the
the celebration.
ceremony.
You came for the ceremony. You celebrated us. You're not enjoying the party.
That's
Okay,
fine.
we appreciate
Take a
that
cupcake,
you
please,
came.
or-
Yeah. See you later.
Time out of your day to come by.
See you later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be a party pooper in the corner.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah. There's a lot of those. Okay. No, that was really good, guys. That was very insightful.
Mhm.
Okay. And then we've already gone through this. Let's walk through what vendors you did have. We'll go through. You had officiant, right?
Yes, we had an officiant who also did our marriage counseling.
Perfect.
As well.
You did premarital counseling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
That's
We feel that is so
that's good.
important.
It is important. I think so too.
Especially while planning a wedding. It was so helpful.
I mean, and even like me and my wife have been through marital counseling. Obviously we just celebrated 10 years, but like
Yeah.
marital counseling in general, I think is very useful. Like,
Yeah.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I think too many people. I think more people should do it.
No,
Like
Yeah.
no,
know?
definitely, because there's some key conversations that aren't had until I've seen couples not have key conversations until after they're
there's big
married.
ones,
Yeah, like
and that's literally what causes their divorce because they
exactly.
never discussed it.
100%. And, I felt while we were planning the wedding, like, granted, I mean, our first date, we talked for so much. We covered like a lot of points, but
Yeah.
going through wedding counseling, plus like planning our wedding it helped hand in hand because you have the added on stress.
Yeah.
But then with wedding counseling, you're reminded of what the importance is, and, our background, we're both Christians and we know that the evil one does not like marriage.
Right.
So, of course, while we're trying to get married, he's going to throw so much at us. And so just having that marriage counseling, was just so helpful for us and just to point us back to them.
Absolutely.
What's important.
No,
And
that's
especially we
that's
were a young
cool.
couple too. I mean, I proposed on our 1 year anniversary, right? So
Right.
then we moved quick, but we knew what we wanted and we knew we were happy.
Yeah.
And so having that premarital counseling, I remember the first session, he was like, "Hey, we're gonna have some stuff, and if you guys find out that there's something you can't compromise on and you can't get together on, this is the time to
Yeah.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Time
Yeah.
to figure that out."
There's big things, and then there's also compromising.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that's a whole.
I do think that there's a lot of things that people don't realize, and it's like there's big conversations that maybe are never had, or that just because you're spending something, you're just at some point in your mind you just assume you're on the same page, and then it's like when it comes down to it, and it's like, and then it's like, hey, like like you get married and you're like, hey, so like when do you want to have kids? And then when the person goes like, I don't want kids, like, if you've never had that conversation,
No, yeah.
and if one wants 5 kids and the other one only wants 1, but you never had that big conversation, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, man,
No.
you're oh my
It's
gosh,
it's a very
there's
sad story.
very serious questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that's good information too. You guys had in-house bar service.
Yes.
Okay.
And then what else? We also had you as our DJ.
Yeah, DJ.
Yeah,
Yep.
our vendor.
You had floral.
I had another friend who, because of my postpartum / nanny services, I was friends with a lot of different moms that have like different career paths, and one of them was a florist, and so she gave me a discount on florals. She did our bouquets, but then the bud vases, honestly, we made the night of the rehearsal.
Wow.
It was a sweet memory.
Okay.
Because even the kids helped, like all the
Okay. So
my
you
little flower
DIY'd
girls.
like
Yeah,
the
the majority of
centerpieces.
it,
Yes,
yeah.
the
Oh, nice.
centerpieces.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll talk about that some more. Yeah.
Yeah. So centerpieces was DIY'd, and then we had our cakes and our cutting cakes and cupcakes. Again, were moms that I knew or friends.
Nice.
Because we had 2 different vendors there, and then photographer. We honestly asked a friend of a church, being like, "Hey, do you know anyone that's interested in
Okay.
photography that is building a portfolio?" Because in our budget, like we were thinking, do we want a videographer and photographer? And we were looking into it, and like just for a handful of hours was like
25 to 3,500, depending on who you went with. It was
Depending on who you went with.
it was exorbitant,
That's
which
right.
is
Yeah.
understandable. It's their. I'm not arguing with anybody's price. If that's
Yeah.
the price that you have for what
Yeah.
you think you're worth, that's fine. I'm not going to barter with you,
Yeah.
but I'm also didn't feel like
Right.
spending that for us.
So we told our family members that, and my brothers, they are great with cameras and stuff, and we actually had them film the
Nice.
ceremony and live stream
Okay.
it for family members
Okay.
that couldn't travel. And then and when it came to to the photographer, we had a friend of a friend who did our photography throughout the wedding, and we just wanted, our main focus was capturing just like those candid shots
Yeah.
of our guests and stuff, because like we can't be everywhere,
No. Yeah.
at once. So,
Yeah. You want to see the things that you're missing while you're doing what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So no video, did it yourself, DIY videography.
Mhm.
And then I actually did you have photo booth or anything else? Like any other features?
Oh,
Did you have it?
we didn't have a photo booth,
Okay.
but we ended up doing
We had the I think it's called an Instax Fuji camera. It's an instant camera.
Instant
almost
camera.
like- yeah.
Polaroid.
there.
Okay.
Polaroid.
The name
The
of it
off-
was
off-brand
Was there
Polaroid.
was there a bunch or just one, or
I think there was just one that
One?
got
Just
handed
one.
around,
Like passed around?
passed
Passed around,
around.
and we
how
got
did that
some-
come out? How did that
um,
did you
I think initially it was an idea that she saw on Pinterest or Instagram or something of
I-
that.
And did you guys keep the photos, or was it for the guests to keep?
We kept the photos.
You kept
the
It was
photos.
part of
Okay.
our guest book of
Okay,
them taking
nice.
a photo, and then they put it in our guest
Oh,
book.
okay,
and
okay.
stuff. Just
So there was
something
like
cute,
they're like taping it in there and writing notes and
yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah, absolutely.
Also we had another friend bring their camera, their
Okay, Polaroid.
their Polaroid camera, and we
I
got
didn't
some
even
cute
know about
shots. Oh, well, it was in the bridal suite. That's why.
Oh, that's why I was like, I didn't know there were
So
two. I'm
she-
sorry.
Yeah, no, and she got some cute shots of just like also the kids interacting with each other and
Okay.
just like the background
That's
of
cool.
everything.
Yeah, nice.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it was very DIY, but we focalize on having a DJ.
Oh, yeah.
and
Any vendors that I missed or anybody that
and we
you had?
also for food,
Catering?
we what do you call it, catering?
We had food ordered. It was a large catering order. However, the person that we went with was Porto's. It's Cuban Dominican food.
Yeah.
Yes.
Portos.
Very delicious. However, they don't deliver as of yet. At that time, they
Yeah.
didn't deliver, so we had to have somebody go and pick it up, and then we paid a labor place secondhand
Spare hands.
spare hands.
Spare hands? You guys hear that?
Yes.
Spare
Yes.
hands.
Spare Hands is
Lifesaver.
located in OC. They are very reasonable, and she has a lot of experience.
I know
in
somebody who
weddings.
needs that information
Oh,
immediately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, honestly,
No, it's-
yeah.
it's so nice
Lifesaver.
because they are very like they have a lot of. They asked if like I had a wedding coordinator because they also do wedding coordinating or day of coordinator. So if they're looking for someone who is in a reasonable price, there honestly I would recommend them.
Okay.
They
Spare
very
hands.
helpful. Yeah,
Okay.
they're
Help
very
with
professional
setup, tear
and
down.
they're
That's
great.
awesome.
Like if you have volunteers like helping with cleanup, they are very helpful with guiding the volunteers as well. Because
Okay.
sometimes volunteers are awesome and we were thankful, but it was nice to have like a pinpoint person being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I have experience with this venue, but here, let me help you
Yeah.
with where everything goes."
It was like, for me, it was like a little confusing because like these people were coming up and like, hey, you need help carrying this stuff out? And I'm like, who even are you? Like, and it must have been those guys because
Yeah, they were so
Yeah.
kind.
yeah, they were
Yeah.
like, oh, do I need to do anything over here for you? And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I was like, no, man, like this is weird. Like nobody asked
Nobody
that.
asked that.
Yeah, yeah.
We actually found
No.
out one of them went to our church after discussing with them, right? It was one of the spare hands and one of the bartenders.
No, the Spare Hands was friends with another friend of ours, but but
The guy who was
just-
running the venue I talked to, I think.
yes,
Yeah.
he went to our church.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
yeah.
so I knew there was somebody.
Honestly, we were just thankful. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, good people. I have just find good people. So,
Right. No,
Yeah.
yeah. You guys did a good job. Yeah.
Thanks.
So that's cool because you just basically you didn't have to it's good because you didn't have to pay on top for the food because you're just buying it at cost,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yourself,
no, definitely.
which is smart. And then you just hired people to serve
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like, to
Yeah, to serve
facilitate.
it, and also I have to give kudos to a friend of mine. Well, she's actually a family member. She kind of led that team because what we ended up doing was kind of like dividing and seeing because I helped her out with her wedding.
Okay.
So she helped me. She was familiar with culinary, and so
Mm.
she took charge of kind of like running that area. And then I had another friend decorate that area.
Okay.
So and then Spare Hands also can do that, but I let them know, hey, I have everything labeled in clear bins, and they could just take it from there.
Okay.
So if you have a vision and organize everything, it's helpful for them, but you don't need to do that for them.
Right. Yeah. No,
So-
that's cool. Okay. We got spare hands. Okay. Let's get into some more interesting questions now.
Yeah, of
We've got the
course.
layout. We know what you did, the venue, the vendors. Let's get into the first question. Looking back, is there anything that you would do differently? Is there anything that you feel like you would change or do differently?
I'm very confident with what we did. I think the thing I would have done differently is been able to walk around the venue afterwards when it was done and finished before guests, like set aside allotted time of just being able to appreciate all the hard work that we both had done.
Okay, so like a first venue look, like we
Yeah.
call it like a first look,
Yeah.
a first look, like at the venue. Yeah.
Yes, no,
And I agree with that.
definitely.
Making sure that you allot time in the schedule, even if it's 20 minutes, just to take a brief walk around and see, like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this
is how it turned out.
This is amazing because
Mhm.
you're not gonna look at it after the wedding.
No.
You're not. You're
Once
gonna be
once
ready.
people start arriving,
So-
everything starts getting moved. People,
Mhm.
start setting their stuff down, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I think just taking that moment in,
Mhm.
I would have appreciated, but I mean,
No, that's a good one.
yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's good because a lot of people don't do that. They don't like it's rare, but sometimes it's built into the schedule. Like they get
Mhm.
they're the first ones that come into the room and get to see what see what
Yeah.
everything looks like or the space.
No, definitely.
Absolutely. And for our venue, it was difficult too, because even as you're walking around, if you're walking around like trying to see the reception after the wedding or after the ceremony,
Mhm.
everybody's there.
Everybody's
And
there.
with that venue, it was all open area.
Yep.
So there was a moment
So-
where we even walked to go do photos, the two of us afterwards. It was on the other side of the courtyard where everyone
I
was
think
getting
that's what
ready.
you saw us in your
Yeah.
little
Everyone-
the
that's-
DJ area.
And
Yeah.
so we were sitting there, and as we're walking back, it took us 10 minutes to get back because
Yeah.
Yeah.
rightfully everybody wants to give you congratulations. You're
Yes.
being kind, but we
Mhm.
also got to get back inside so then we can do the processional
Yep.
out to the dance floor.
Yeah.
But so it depends on the venue too, on making that a capability
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
seeing if that's something that you guys really want.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I get that.
100%.
No, that's a good one. And I think we've kind of gone into this, but let's break it down a little further.
Mhm.
So when you had that initial budget of 12 to 15,
Mhm.
it sounded like earlier you mentioned you had things that you wanted to put more money into than others. So when you were creating your budget,
Mhm.
where were you focusing? Like what were those things that you were more focused on than others? Because you got some breaks on a lot of the services.
Mhm.
But the money you actually did spend, where was that primarily going? What was the items? The venue probably cost.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The venue was one of the bigger ones.
Okay.
Um
And after that?
and then DJ, we definitely wanted a great DJ,
Mhm.
and
We got very
So that was important to you guys.
that was
Okay.
important because I mean, I've been to weddings, and sometimes when the DJs, if they don't have the right vibe, the wedding, like the music literally sets the tone of the
Mhm.
event.
Yeah.
And a good just like MC as well, just like I've seen some big accidents that have happened, and I'm like, we really wanted a good DJ,
and
so
it
just to
can
have
change
a smooth.
the pace of it too. If the
Yeah.
DJ's behind or ahead or is rushing or dragging, like it can really change how if everything's feeling rushed, we're moving to the next thing, which I've seen before where it was like, hey, the DJ wanted to get out of there early. It felt like, he was
Yeah.
trying to, hey, next thing,
Yeah,
let's
let's
go.
Let's just get these people out of here.
Yeah.
I appreciate moving along. I appreciate, guiding a crowd.
Right.
But there's guiding a crowd and then shepherding everybody right before they have time to enjoy what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so finding somebody with a very easy balance, which I am giving you a huge compliment
Yeah,
because it was
yeah.
fantastic.
No.
This is the moment where I will talk about how
Yeah.
great
It was
this
so-
gentleman was.
No, it was so
But-
funny because some of my friends knew that I had to have other people have volunteered
Yeah.
to do things. They actually thought you were a family member of
Oh.
how like
Mhm.
fun and like very
that's
in
amazing.
tune to the
That's nice
audience
to
you
hear.
were. And I was like, no, we hired him.
And how well enmeshed you, you talk to people. It was,
Yeah.
you felt like another guest.
And
Yeah.
you
felt-
genuinely
people
looked like you
genuinely
were
enjoyed
having
it.
fun, which
Oh, I'm
is
always having
awesome.
fun.
Some DJs just like stay in their little corner.
That's
and,
why
yeah.
like that's me. Like it's like whether it's like a very dry religious wedding. I have weddings with no dancing.
Uh-huh.
No, like there's not going to be dancing. I know there's no drinking.
Mhm.
And then I have extreme parties and I have the in betweens. And it's like I actually enjoy myself at all of them because it's still special in its own way.
Yeah.
And I love doing this. And the thing the interesting thing you've mentioned, which I don't think anybody on this podcast has ever talked about, is the pacing.
Mhm.
That's a really interesting topic, to be honest, actually,
Yeah.
because my approach is making sure the couple's ready.
Mhm.
And if you remember, I'd always check in with you guys.
Yeah.
How are you doing? This is where we're at on
Yeah.
the timeline. And if you ask me, and I'll tell you, like, if you guys ask me if we're behind, I'm gonna say, yeah, we're a little behind. Like,
Mhm.
I can catch us. I can rush some things. I can catch us up.
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Are you good?
Yeah.
Like, I love a timeline, but I tell people, like, this is a guideline.
Yeah.
It's
Just-
never going to work this way.
Yeah.
It never works 100%. There's no way.
100%. Yeah.
And so I'm very careful about exactly what you said, pacing,
Mm-hmm.
because do you need more time? Do you want more time? Hey, we're ahead of schedule. Do you want to
Yeah.
kill some time and do some table visits? Because otherwise we're just fast tracking, like,
Yeah.
so I have, from all my years of experience, I have all this understanding of like, I'm couple oriented.
Mhm.
I'm not timeline focused.
Mhm.
That I'm going to follow it
Yeah,
but
no.
I'm going to make sure you're ready. You don't want more time. We're not going too fast. We're not going too slow. And I will do whatever I have couples that are like, they start getting anxious
Mhm.
and then they're
Uh-huh.
like, hey, when do we dance? When does it? And I say, oh, hey, like you still have father, daughter, mother, mother, son, grandpa, money dance. You
Right.
you guys have
Yeah.
all this, like we have like 40 minutes of stuff to do. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then they'll say like, what can we do? And I'll say,
Yeah.
it's your wedding.
Yeah.
We can skip all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I am. I'm not worried. I'm not just like, I don't just let the timeline drive me. I let the timeline guide, but I let the couple drive the timeline
Yeah.
ultimately.
Yeah, no, we definitely appreciated how adaptable you were through the wedding, especially with like some last minute, like, oh, we're announcing the parents and grandparents too,
Yeah,
here and there and
yeah.
stuff.
Not a big deal.
And I think, like, honestly, like you said, you brought up a big point of just like the timeline kind of like being the skeleton
It is.
of the agenda of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have like, oh, everyone's getting here at 12 o'clock, and then you're going to start getting ready, like makeup artists show up
Yeah.
at 12:30, but there's traffic sometimes.
All kinds of stuff.
There's all sorts of things, but it's all about being adaptable.
Dress
And
malfunctions,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Left my tie at home. Someone had to run and get it.
Left my vows at home.
Yeah, left my
Yes,
left
yeah.
my
Don't
ring.
do
It
that.
actually happened.
Oh, that happened? Oh,
That happened. That
There you go.
100% happened.
Yeah, there you go.
We got halfway to the venue and I looked at my brother-in-law was giving me a ride and I'm like, got my backpack. Hey man, we're gonna need to turn around.
No,
Yeah.
he called me. He's like, I'm not trying to stress you out or anything, but
Just as a heads
did you
up.
did you leave our apartment? Because we didn't move in together before we
Sure.
got married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he
I got her an
stayed at
apartment and I stayed at my mother's house.
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
and so I think he left the vows because the rehearsal was the night before. He left his vows at our place, and so
That's funny.
yeah, it was so funny.
It's always something.
yeah,
But yeah, and yeah, and I think there's a lot of couples that get so focused and like the timeline, like are we on
Mhm.
time? Are we on time? It's like I suggest you worry less about that and worry about, are you enjoying the experience?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna quote Kesha: "The party does not start until you walk in."
Yeah.
So, like,
100%.
like, honestly, like that's the
No, it's
mindset
true.
you gotta have and the
Yeah.
confidence. It's like you guys
know?
are the guests of honor. If you run 15, 20 minutes late, it's you guys.
Behind, you're behind.
Yeah, and if people get fussy over that,
Well, and also just to touch back on that, like the good thing about yours, and you'll remember this is I knew you guys were gonna have, like, when the way your guys' wedding was set is we ended up with like 3+ hours of dancing at the end.
Mhm.
Like, we
Uh-huh.
had I'm experienced enough to know that like I know we don't need all that time.
yeah,
And so that's buffer. Like
Mhm.
but people who plan a really tight wedding,
mm-hmm.
it is more important. It is the DJ is even more critical because if you really like dancing and you have a 5-hour wedding and you want, and like that's all the time you have, then sometimes people get down like to where they don't, if things run behind, they only have 45 minutes or an hour of dancing when they were
Yeah.
on the timeline.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. People need to let go of the idea. Just because
Mhm.
the timeline says you're going to have an hour and a half or 2 hours of dancing,
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
doesn't actually work that way. So with you guys, for me, it was like it's less stressful for me because I don't have to push you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't, like, there's times where I'm like, hey guys, we are 30 minutes behind. There's no way to catch us up. We can do stuff during dinner. We can fast track. There's tricks, like you can cut the cake right now. We can start the speeches while people are still eating. We can get some time back
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you're worried about the dancing. And if they're not worried about the dancing,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we'll take it slow.
Yeah, I
You
think
know?
also having a wedding planner kind of helped
Yeah.
us with that, of just
day
like
of
having
coordinator.
some lax regarding just like, okay, exactly at this time. And then also with my charcuterie business is like just seeing the outside and
Yeah, because
Of-
you do
yeah.
events too.
yeah,
Mhm.
you got to be adaptable
Mm-hmm.
because the weather also, you got to move along with the
Yeah.
flow.
Yeah,
As especially if you're going to have an outdoor venue.
Yeah.
right.
Trusting the date and trusting. I mean, when we ordered it, I looked at probably 3 or 4 different almanacs to try to get historical weather because I'm like, there's
That's
no
hilarious.
at that
They're
venue.
busting out
You were there.
almanacs.
There's nowhere to go and take shelter.
Yeah,
There's
no.
a small foreman's cabin that's like a 2-bedroom.
You can
But
all
that's
huddle in there.
that's
No.
it. You're not going to get 150
No, yeah.
guests
No.
in there.
Yeah.
Thankfully, they do rent out umbrellas. They rent out chairs. They have
Yeah.
they have
On-site, that
tents
venue
that you can
itself.
put up if you need to be.
Yeah.
The venue is great with that. But we were on a budget. We wanted to make sure, and all of that stuff costs money. And I was like, look, we just got to check and see. And even that day, the weather itself was, it was a total godsend.
Oh,
because
it was perfect.
it was cloudy in the
Yeah,
morning
it was cloudy
while everybody was
until the
setting up.
evening, and then we got that
Sunny when we got the
perfect light.
photos.
Yep.
Cloudy again for
Yep.
dinner. It was
No,
fantastic.
definitely.
So
I know there's like this trend that you bury like a sausage the night before the wedding to have good weather. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen that, but I've
I
seen
have
it.
not.
Because doing posting wedding content and looking at
Yeah.
wedding
Yeah,
content
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff, you
yeah.
like see the
See
most
all this
randomest
stuff.
things.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
Random
I don't need to
superstitions.
bury a sausage.
I've never heard of that.
God, now I have to
That
go.
was
I'm,
not
gonna
what I
go
was
I'm
doing.
immediately going to look that up.
No, it's
There was a lot of
hysterical.
prayer and almanac. But
Yeah.
I don't think
No.
there was a sausage.
Yeah, I will say, yeah.
Oh my
need
god.
to.
Okay, you hear that? You don't have to bury the sausage, guys.
there's no
You're
need.
you're okay. But if you are, it should be Italian sausage. Okay. Okay. All right. I feel like I already know the answer to this, but
Mhm.
I feel like your answer is going to be all. But all your vendors were probably worth every penny you spent, right?
Oh,
You
100.
didn't have anybody that
100%.
disappointed you, or
There was nothing for me, there was nothing that
No.
fell short of what we expected. Most people, in all honesty, exceeded expectation.
Uh-huh.
Even when it came to asking, we asked a lot of our family members and a lot of our
Mhm.
friends. And there were people who came that we didn't think would. There were not to say that
From
they
out of
wouldn't,
state,
but
like out of state.
people from out of state came and joined, and not only did they enjoy the reception, but they came and volunteered. They came early, they came
That's
late.
cool.
Yeah,
you know,
no.
you guys had so
and
much support.
That
That's
was
nice.
such a
You're-
huge.
A lot of people don't
huge
get
blessing,
that. I
yeah.
mean, a lot of these people watching, they don't like it's.
No.
A lot of these people are very much on their own.
But I
like,
will
in
say,
the process.
yeah, no, and I was very thankful like for spare hands,
Yeah.
because again, like when we did have those people that came to help, they weren't like sitting and like kind of twiddling their thumbs in a
No,
corner.
No, those guys were
they
on
were
it.
busting their
No, I'm telling you,
butts, like-
they even when I was setting up, they asked me if I needed help. And I couldn't figure out who those people were because
yeah,
from what I understood, there was no venue staff like specifically like assigned.
no,
So I was
yeah.
like, why do these guys keep
Yeah.
like?
Yeah, no, there was 2 venue staff, but one was a bartender and then the other one would handle trash, which was like a relief because it's awesome. Like,
Yeah,
so, but yeah, no, everything down to the venue was worth every penny.
all the vendors, everything. Okay,
Yeah.
and then you mentioned one already. Were there the vows, leaving the vows behind? Was there anything else unexpected that so to say, went wrong or like was a hiccup? Was there anything else like any?
Oh, when you have an outdoor wedding, be prepared for ants.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did that
Yes.
happen?
Um, well, my sweet friend, we got a heater or
We had an electric it's an electric oven, so it's essentially for catering when you want to put trays in to keep them warm.
Okay.
yeah.
So when we got from Porto's, we got it here. We had an electric oven to keep them warm,
Mhm.
and we had
Oh.
potato balls from Porto's,
Yes,
and they didn't get put into the electric oven
they got put on a table, and she
on a
thought they would
table
be
while
fine
we went and did the ceremony.
for like 10, 15
No
minutes.
way. And
but
the ants
then-
like,
yeah.
It is Gold
They were
Coast Farms. The ants decided, hey, these are great.
hey, lunchtime.
I will say that the venue did give us a heads up regarding ants,
Yep.
but we didn't think that they would work that
That's
fast,
insane.
but,
No, I mean, I wouldn't either.
There's a reason why the Bible talks about go to the ants who slugger. So like
Yeah.
they were
So
fast.
They were
So
much
yeah, that
quicker.
was like
they worked quick.
They were quick. So if
Mhm.
you have an outdoor wedding, just keep in mind of ants.
And be
Um,
prepared with food, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, food.
No, that's a good.
So-
I mean, no, that's not something I've ever that's not something I would think about or have ever
No.
thought about. Like,
yeah, because
that's
I
really
even
interesting.
made like an emergency kit for like filled with like bobby pins, safety pins,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
There's not much you can do for Mother Nature.
Yeah, no.
If
No.
they're
Yeah,
gonna pick where they go.
yeah, 100%.
No, that's a good tip because because I've as many outdoor catering, like I've never thought that of that, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
because if something is left, I could see how something is left sitting like standing still for too long that it could It could happen to anybody anyway.
Yeah, no, there is
Regardless of what you're spending or what you plan for or like what's going on.
or how much you've prepped, because even like again with charcuterie, like you got with my charcuterie business, like I learned to prep for flies, prep for like the weather and stuff like that. Yeah. But ants is like, oh, you just
new guy,
here you go,
new enemy. Yeah, okay.
A new challenger has appeared.
Okay. How did you guys feel? How was it at the day after? How was like, what was the feeling? Was it like a relief? Was it like
it was a mix of just like relief and also just feeling so appreciated by those who attended. And honestly, it was so nice because when we woke up, we made coffee and we opened up the cards and the gifts that people left us, and like we just talked about it I talked about the whole day, like 3 days, because for our honeymoon, he did a surprise, but the entire drive, it was like a 4 or 6 hour drive.
It was a 4 to 5 hour
I talked myself to sleep like 3-4 times talking about the day.
Yeah.
Just like,
that's cool.
And just, I mean, it was a beautiful experience. And so coming the next day and waking up and realizing, you know, there's a surreal moment when you sit and you wake up next to your wife for the first time, and you're like,
yeah, no,
I
agree with that.
I've made the jokes. I've said, oh, my wife, or this my soon to be. But no, that's
but when it's
my wife.
It's tangible, when it's real, it is different. It's
It is
absolutely different.
It's 100% a different feeling. And as a man, I don't know how many you have, if it is bride to be, but in the audience, it's very much a different something on your shoulders now. There's a different level of responsibility.
It's
that's
absolutely
my fiance. That's my girlfriend. You've made a promise to this woman. That's fine. Now it's your wife. You've made a vow.
You've made a vow.
And
you've made a covenant.
Vow to her and a covenant with God. And there's a whole layer of agreement and
that's
responsibility.
what I tell people all the time. Like there's a difference between living with someone and and all that, and like, but when you actually say your vows and you make a covenant before God and you exchange rings, it's
everything.
It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling, and it's no longer the way I explain it to you. It's no longer this thing where like it's like it's now if you want to walk away,
you can't.
It's It's like
that's the ideal.
But up until then, it's like technically like this could be something that you guys could easily walk away from each other, and it wouldn't be a big deal because you haven't made that covenant, and you haven't you haven't said these vows, and you haven't committed yourselves to each other in that sense. And so I agree with you 100%. Yeah. It is way different than being engaged or something.
And that's one of the things that premarital counseling was huge for us, because like I said at the very beginning, he was like, if you guys are going to walk away, now is the time. Now is the time to figure out if you're going to walk away, because once you make that covenant, yes, divorce is a possibility, but that's
only under certain circumstances.
That's not something that we believe in.
But also only under certain circumstances.
I've said that word maybe twice.
Yeah.
And once in this podcast since we got married. Yeah. We don't talk about that. Yeah. It's not an option.
Right, it's not an option.
Right. No, it's not a tangible thing.
Yeah.
No, it's something that we both have taken seriously.
Yeah.
So even down to, I think one of the songs that I had the bridal party walk down to, it's "Ends of the Earth" by Lord Huron. It's like, hey, from the ends of the earth, would you follow me? If not, no
questions.
No question. So
that's amazing. No, that's cool. That was like the next day experience. What is something that maybe you obsessed over or put a lot into that didn't matter in the end? Like that at the end of the day, you're like, gosh, like that just, who cares? Like that, I put so much time into that. And
I think for me, it was the weather and, like worried about drama, just like worrying about certain scenarios happening and just, anxiety. But sometimes, the next day of, I was like, oh, wow, it's not raining.
Yeah.
And for me, similar, family drama was a big worry for me. Every family has it.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid it, you're not going to.
Right.
Either they're going to behave or they won't.
Mm-hmm.
And that's entirely a them decision. Mm-hmm. And that was something that we had talked about before and made an agreement that if somebody was going to cause a problem, they would be causing it in the parking lot or on their way home.
Yeah.
It was not going to happen at our wedding.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who it was. There was no person of honor other than the two of us.
Yeah.
We were the only ones who needed to stay at that wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm very fortunate that I have a very large brother who happened to have been a security guard. And I told him, I was like, look, if they need to leave, they need to leave.
They need to go. Yeah.
That's your
I
responsibility.
agree. Yeah.
No.
Because family drama, and there was none. We were worried about it. There was none.
I will-
Everybody agreed.
I will have to say that we chose our bridal party to help out with that as well. Not just
To mitigate.
Yeah.
but just like the character.
Observe.
Just we were very lucky with just the friends and family we
Mhm.
decided to have beside us.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes people get distracted of just like the bridal party also plays a part in the wedding
Yeah,
too.
for sure. No, no.
Yeah.
No, that's good. I think a lot of people worry about that.
Mhm.
And it's a valid thing to worry about, but maybe obsessing or like making yourself so anxious, like it's not worth it, because
Mhm.
it's and I try to tell myself this all the time. I say, don't worry about things that haven't happened yet. Like
Mhm.
don't, like I have to
Yeah.
I have to bring myself back because I'm
Yeah.
worried about things that haven't happened yet. And
Is
it's,
it fear or is it fact?
right.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. What made your ceremony or reception, what about it made it feel like you? Like we talked about this, but what made it you? What made it personal? Like what, anything specific?
Gosh, I think, well, before our wedding, we wanted to something that resembled both of our personalities and
Okay.
both of our backgrounds and where we have come from. Like I'm Cuban and Dominican,
Mhm.
with a sprinkle of German, I like to say, and then he is Celtic and he comes from
Celtic Norwegian.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for us, we wanted to do hand fasting, and
Yep.
that's where the phrase "tying the knot"
Mhm.
comes from.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we chose out a three-stranded cord because in the Bible it talks about a three-stranded
Yep.
cord, cannot be easily
It
broken.
cannot be easily broken.
And so we picked out our personal colors and we talked with our minister who married us, our officiant, and he just was so kind and helpful with creating that beautiful moment for us. And then
Mhm.
also having people sing a hymn because we did also communion.
Yeah.
So
Which
just
was
sing
very important to us.
a hymn while we did
Mhm.
our communion and just like just was so it felt so intimate.
Yeah.
And honestly, like when people started singing, like we both started tearing up, like,
Yeah, of
oh my
course.
gosh.
And
Oh.
to feel that level of you could tell there was a level of love and a level of prayer and a
Mhm.
level of just genuine people who were wanting us to succeed in that moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it all came together, and I'm a very emotional person when it comes to music. I feel like music is one of the only ways to get me to really tear up and cry.
Mhm.
And she knows which songs will do it, so she sometimes does it on purpose.
No, I don't. I
But
don't.
in that moment, when you're staring at her and everybody's praying and you can hear them singing, and it's a beautiful old
Oh
school
yeah, it's an
hymn.
extreme. It's an extreme
yeah.
experience.
It's such a moment of like,
Whoa.
okay,
Yeah.
It felt
this is
surreal,
happening.
just like,
Yeah.
and we were in our own little moment, our movie of just like,
Right.
whoa, it's us. We're making this commitment.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it just felt magical.
It was
Well,
amazing.
it's like it's such a unique moment in a lifetime, because it's like, I guess, like celebrities and NFL players and people like that, they're used to having crowds and
Oh yeah.
and in that sense, but like, normal, everyday walk of life people who aren't in the limelight like that,
Mhm.
it's like that's a extremely unique experience when you have all these people that are literally there for you.
Mhm.
They're watching you, they're cheering for you, they're clapping for you. It's literally like you are the star of the show
Yeah.
and you're already at a heightened emotion. And then, like you said, when you heard everybody singing the hymn and stuff, like it's like
Yeah.
it's like top. It's like extreme. And it's
Yeah.
an extreme experience of, I think, an emotional and just spiritual experience for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I totally see that. Was there anything else about the reception or any details that you added that made it like personal, that made it you guys? Anything you did put on the tables or
Oh,
anything?
yeah. As you mentioned earlier, I DIY'd our centerpieces.
Okay, let's talk about that. Yeah.
And it was a fun thing because I got like everyone from my bridal party got together, even my mom, and we just like did a crafting day. And I would have to say that my centerpieces cost about $7
Wow.
each.
And it looked nice. It
Yeah,
looked real. I didn't know.
gorgeous.
you don't
I
need
I
to.
didn't know.
And we actually used the photos that were on the table were from our engagement.
Okay.
photos. He
Yeah.
surprised me with an engagement photo
Okay.
shoot, and I did the photos because we had family members traveling from out of state, and it's like a 2-for-1. If they wanted to take a photo, you can. If you
Okay.
really
Yeah.
and we couldn't have glass at that venue. I mean, we could have glass vases, but we couldn't have glass cups. And
Okay.
so we also added like a little bell that said "ring for a kiss" because it's traditional to
Oh,
like
because you
clink
can't
the-
clink the glasses. Oh my gosh, you guys.
Yeah.
Now, okay.
So
Okay.
I
That
was
now
like,
that's cool.
it's a cute little personal touch, and some people took home the bells and stuff because we also had little kids attend at the wedding.
Yeah.
I know some people, that's a whole different story.
I'm indifferent. It's whatever you want.
Yeah, no, but that kind of like made it personal and endearing. And so whenever we heard the bells, we're like, oh, we got a kiss now.
And there were some times where people were ringing for quite some time. And
Yeah,
they had to
yeah.
be like, hey,
Kiss.
hello,
Yeah.
do the thing.
Yeah.
Just going crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it was very cute. And then I added like I am obsessed with butterflies, and so I add like a little butterfly to each of the pictures and stuff just to kind of like bring it into the
personal
wedding,
touch.
a personal
Yeah.
touch.
It was very much like Enchanted Farm. It was.
Yeah,
it
if
was,
we had to
there were
describe it,
florals
Enchanted Farm.
everywhere. It was so gorgeous.
And then bud vases, honestly, I love flowers.
Mm.
But I used faux flowers for like the larger arrangements
Okay.
because it cut costs. I didn't have to worry about
Not have
them
to worry about it.
wilting or
Wilting
anything
or anything. Yeah.
or the weather
Or
if it rained.
how do you handle it? It's
Yeah,
like,
no,
yeah.
100%. I wasn't like attached to
Yeah.
them per se.
Yeah.
Granted, we still have 2 at home.
It was like attached. I tried to throw them out when we got home, and she's like, "No,
I wasn't
keep
ready.
them."
Okay,
Not ready yet.
wasn't
enough.
ready.
It's okay.
But faux flowers definitely. When we talked about getting married, I started collecting a lot of the faux flowers so that way, like we didn't have to spend so much on florals because that was another expense. Just
Yeah.
like because we bought the florals, in bulk from a flower market, and then had someone else arrange them, which was cheaper, but still it's pricey to have real flowers.
Florals are
The
expensive.
more,
Yeah.
just the more you do yourself, the lower the cost gets. So,
Exactly. And
yeah.
so the flowers that were on the where we put all the food, the little catering area were
Oh,
all
yeah,
fake,
the buffet
but
tables,
the thing
yeah.
is, it's like people, they weren't like looking at it and picking
Nobody
it up,
cares.
and nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
I know everyone's like, oh my gosh, are you worried about your wedding look like a Dollar Tree wedding? I'm like, no, I'm not, because I just, at the end of the day, what hurts is my pocket.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, if
Absolutely.
you want real flowers everywhere, awesome.
And
Kudos to you.
but yeah, it doesn't.
But if you want to,
That's a personal choice.
that's a
Doesn't
personal-
It actually
yeah.
really doesn't.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
but I will say I did have the bud vases because, that's like 3 flowers, 1 big rose or a larger
mhm.
floral. And that did save us a lot of money, and just the memories behind that, because the night of the rehearsal, like all my flower girls, even the ring bearers were into making them.
Yeah, that's
No,
cool.
they were our nephews just like filling up the water and being like, oh, how can we help?
Yeah.
And stuff. And we got like a cute little video of all the kids just helping out.
That's
and
awesome.
the bridal party making.
That's a really cool memory to
Yeah,
have
it
associated
is.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
just
wedding day.
because I'm a firm believer, just because it's a DIY wedding, which is, do it yourself, doesn't mean you have to do it solely yourself.
Yeah.
You have other people you could lean on
hmm
during that time. So, yeah, just
That's amazing. No, that's a fun story. And then you get to look at the photos, and you'll always remember.
mhm.
Like it'll always bring back, those memories.
Yes.
Did you have a hard time, or now having been through it, do you have any advice for people, like how to stay calm during the wedding and how to relax and just enjoy it? Is there looking back, is there anything, like any advice you can give to people for that? Because a lot of people
Yeah.
are always stressed on the day.
Yeah. Eat something. Honestly,
something.
eat
Mhm.
something day of, because like in the morning, even as a bride, like the last thing you want to do is eat. Hence why, like, I love the idea of
That's
when
that's
you did
all the brides,
yeah,
like they
all
don't
the brides,
they
they
don't
don't
want to
eat. They don't eat. And so sometimes like, or even worrying about food for your bridal party, because sometimes like your focus is on everything else, and then when it comes down to you getting ready, yeah, you have the makeup artist,
Right.
yeah, you have a hairdresser and everything, but do you have the nutrients to get through the day.
Yeah.
So just making sure that your bridal party has food, because I've been a part of a wedding where there wasn't food
Yeah.
for the bridal party, and we almost had someone pass out because there
Of
wasn't.
course.
Yeah, any wedding or water.
Water.
Is-
Just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just about it. We were on the same track.
like,
Yeah.
I'm so
water.
happy. We had so much leftover water, and I was like,
Yeah.
I would rather have leftover water and food
Not a big
than
cost.
not
enough.
not enough.
Yeah.
So like that's why I love the idea of when you surprised your wife with a charcuterie box while she was like getting ready.
Yeah.
I love that.
No,
Because,
so let's talk about it. So I hired Kalauna to I just had a 10-year vow renewal,
Yeah.
and my wife didn't know. I was able to surprise her. Like, that's a miracle in itself, because she always
So
knows,
sweet.
because
Yeah.
we always figure out each other's surprises. And I'm going to share with you guys after this. I'll share with you guys something else. But it's fun. But it's funny because she didn't know it was coming,
Uh-huh.
but I knew because one, I do this all the time, and I know my
Mhm.
wife. I know she's not going to eat.
Yeah.
And she's like, I was like, hey, do you want anything to eat? And she's like, no. As we're getting ready to leave and we're getting final things and loading
Yeah.
stuff into the car to head out to the venue, she says, I'm going to fast. I'm going to fast all the way until meal service. And I'm like, okay. I was like, that's
Yeah.
fine. Like,
Yeah.
and then, but I knew you were coming, with the charcuterie, because she loves charcuterie. So, and then after we've been talking about it after, and like, she told me, like, she appreciated it so much because, like, at the point you came, she said she was starting to feel like lightheaded, like she needed something.
Yeah.
And she said she needed it so bad that she's like, she was so happy that I got it for her.
Mhm.
And she loved the charcuterie.
Aw.
And then not only that, but then also our daughters were starting to get like hangry.
Yeah.
And so then they finished the box.
Yep.
So,
that makes
so,
me so
so they
happy.
all shared, like, they killed it. She right before she started hair and makeup, she was able to snack.
Uh-huh.
And then the girls shared the rest of it because we didn't. I don't know why we didn't think about it, but we usually do. But it's, you're just thinking about so
There's
many things.
much. There's so
We
much
didn't
going
bring.
on.
We usually bring like snack packs or juice boxes or something for the
Yeah.
kids. But we just didn't think about that part. So we had no
Yeah.
snacks for them. And when you coming, I didn't think, oh, the kids will be able to, but they did. So it was just like such a heaven sent, because it's like, it just worked out so amazing, and the timing of it. And she has literally told me like several times after the event, she's like, yeah, thank God, because
Yeah.
I like, it was perfect because I needed it and I didn't want to eat really heavy.
Yeah.
So the personal charcuterie box was like perfect for her.
I'm so happy to hear.
So you are correct. Even my own wife, even knowing, it's like, and but again, it's like, it's her wish. Okay, you don't want to eat, you're gonna fast. Okay, but no, the charcuterie delivery was like such perfect timing. It all worked out great, and she really needed it. So she was really appreciative, and she loved it.
Great.
So, no, absolutely, I agree with you. Eat something. Did you have any other advice like that? Anything like?
I think also we prayed the
Mhm.
morning of. We called
That's
each
good.
other and we prayed, and just that just the course of the day would go well, and that at the end of the day, it's he's the yes, we're the focal point, but he's the reason we're together.
Right.
Besides Eric's
Yeah.
persistence.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I
what
will say
else?
another thing. I mean, kind of to your point of just remember that it is about you guys. At the end of the day, no matter how anxious you are about everything going right, even if everything goes wrong,
Mhm.
truly, even if everything
No,
goes
true.
wrong,
I agree with you.
and there's a ring on her finger and a ring on yours, the day was a success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most important
Yeah.
part of the day. The party, the crazy ceremony, all of the extra stuff is just that. It's
Yeah.
extra stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, you want it to look well. You want it to go well. You want the party to go well.
Mhm.
But even with, like you say about timelines, it never works out that way. It's never perfect.
Never.
It's never exactly how you plan
Right.
it. So don't put too much stock, I would say, into panicking over the little things.
Yeah.
Perfection.
As long as it's you guys get married and you have that beautiful memory of the two of you saying "I do," which
Yeah.
I did jump the gun a little bit. That's a whole nother funny story.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, there's that moment where it's like, okay, cool. Everything after that is extra.
Yeah,
It's
it
great,
is.
but it truly is
Uh,
just extra.
Yeah, no, definitely. Another little point was I made like little, a little just in case bag for everyone,
Uh-huh.
which
Yeah.
was very helpful. And I think it's very, but I also made bathroom baskets
Okay.
for our guests,
Okay.
and everyone loved that because it was a hot day. I included like little things like makeup wipes, deodorant stuff, and breath mints.
Yeah, those are all, yeah.
Yeah, because
It's nice if you have the time and
Mhm.
ability to do those things because they do come in. Like people put gum in there and different stuff.
Just-
Tylenol.
yeah.
Another life-saving thing that she did, even for us groomsmen as we
Oh,
were getting ready,
yes.
because we're sitting outside while she's in the foreman's
Mhm.
cabin with the AC. It was a little warm,
Mhm.
and we're all in nice suits. And she had these little pocket fans that she bought,
could
which I don't know
charge.
how,
Yeah, the
I don't know how
rechargeable.
expensive they were or whatever the cost was
No.
on
I
it.
think they're pretty
Yeah.
affordable.
But it was worth every single penny because
Yeah.
we're all
No.
sitting there talking, drinking a beer, and just sitting with those fans on us
Yeah.
and having that, even though it was warm, just having that little bit of extra
Yeah.
breeze.
Even brides
Something
now,
as
I've seen
simple
as
it
that.
where they're strapping them to the bouquet. So when they're
Yeah.
standing
That's
there,
good,
like
yeah.
it's
It is
it's
so-
on because you
it's-
can't see it. It's on the
It's
bouquet.
great. It was funny because my brothers were in our wedding,
Yeah.
and they came up and they're like, "Kaluna, you've had a lot of great ideas, but this is like our
This is the
favorite.
best.
It
This
was-
This is
yeah,
the
they were
best."
amazing.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting close to the end. Okay.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot you've probably already mentioned, but let's try to focus in on just one thing you're just super glad
hmm
you did. Is there one thing, is there one decision you made? Is there anything like specific, just narrow, just like one thing that you're like super glad you did?
For me, it was the money dance. And I know that seems a little selfish, but it wasn't about the money.
hmm
It gave us an opportunity to dance with everybody.
Right.
And to have that moment of like, even like for me, my cousins came up. They each put money in my pocket and danced with me.
Yeah.
And like seeing two large, we're all large men in my family, but seeing the two of us dance and have a good time, but getting that moment with him where, my cousin walked up, he came from Texas. Hey man, I'm really proud of you. This is awesome. You did really well.
Yeah, having those,
And having that moment of like everybody gets the opportunity to say hi and
And have
thank
a one-on-one.
you
And have a quick
that
little word, yeah.
one-on-one with somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that one, but mine would have to be when we did our first looks. We did our personal vows together.
Yeah.
And we had like that
Yes.
intimate time, just the two of
I
us.
think personal vows are a great
Yeah,
idea.
because I mean, granted, there's gonna be tons of tears
Mm.
throughout the day, but I think those tears, like those happy tears and just like
Yeah.
emotional tears, I just wanted him to see.
Yeah.
And just like for us to just be able to bare our hearts to each
Yeah.
other without having to worry about just like
Yeah.
Uncle Bob from Arizona or something. Just like,
Right. Yeah.
just
Yeah.
it was just us, and we got to get some cute photos. It was us and like the photographer, but the photographer, she went back a distance. She's like, I want to give you guys space.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice. And we have those written vows still to this
Nice.
day.
And that's something that we'll have forever. And
Yeah.
I mean, my wife is I am no writer, but my wife is an absolute poet.
Oh,
And she actually, am I allowed to talk about it?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Never
No, I
mind.
mean, I just that was the
Canceled.
Immediately
Unsubscribe.
no.
No, that
I
was
would've cut
that. No, I
She had
dabbled in
written something.
poetry.
She had written something very beautiful.
Oh yes, that
That.
yes. You
So
may,
when she was much younger, she had written a very beautiful poem
Okay.
to whomever would be her husband,
yeah.
and it was something that only she has written and read. And to this day, I'm the only other person as her husband who got to read that.
Okay.
Yeah,
And that was something that was very special. I wanted to make sure I shouted it because that was, that's one of the things that made me start bawling. That was
Yeah.
a
Okay.
very special thing.
To kind of describe what happened is I had my maid of honor or someone hand him the poem before and then
Before
I
the
started
You hadn't
walking
seen
up.
it before that.
No.
I had no
Did you know
idea.
about it?
I knew that she was going to hand me a letter. I didn't know.
You didn't know about this poem though.
I didn't know that it
Mhm.
was written.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
when
okay.
she
so
was 16,
I had a
17.
surprise. Yeah,
That was
for
such a
him.
wild moment.
Yeah, and so that was my little surprise for him. And so he was like sobbing like, as I was walking up, and then he started sobbing even more when he turned around and
then you
saw
turn
me.
around and see, oh, she was so gorgeous.
It was a very beautiful moment that we got to create, just the two of us.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's super cool that you were able to do that. Something like from so long ago and bring it into the current, and obviously it hit you deeply too. So
it was very.
It just made everything more intense, as if things weren't already going to be intense enough. It's like, let's go through some just like quick wrap up questions. These are like just easy to answer. Guest count: too many, just right, too little,
just right. The venue's capacity was 150, but
and how many did you have?
We invited over that, but we knew some people weren't going to make it, so we had 100 and
I think it was 130, 140.
That felt good.
Yeah, roughly.
Okay,
Which is perfect.
Sometimes feel like they had too many. Sometimes, so it's like, but for you guys, that was good.
A good breathing.
Sometimes it's overwhelming. People realize like, when they see it,
oh my gosh,
they're like, I had no idea. I invited so many. It's like, I invited this many people. Like,
yeah, 300 people can be a lot.
Yeah,
I've been
like
to weddings where it's like, oh yeah, have 300 people, 200 people. I'm like, good for you. That's awesome. But be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared, because now you're going to be inundated, that many times more.
Yeah.
Your dress, was it what you pictured? Was your dress perfect? Was it exactly?
Yeah, I would have to say that my dress, I had a different image for what I wanted it to be. Yeah,
Okay.
I did. But then I tried my wedding dress on, and I just like, this is me. This is who I want to.
I see.
This is what I want. And I was so blessed because the seamstress that did getting that done, oh my gosh.
Oh, I know.
It's a whole,
I know.
Getting it alterations, it's like buying a whole nother dress.
Yes.
But I was so blessed, again, with another friend who did it all for free and added beading. And so I was able to get the dress and then the extra little
enhancements,
touches.
alterations.
Everything.
And it came out the way.
And it came out the way I wanted it to.
That's amazing.
So,
and it was drop dead stunning.
Oh,
there we go.
No, everybody, it was
like
one of the most, it was the most beautiful dress I've seen for obvious reason, but even if it wasn't my wife, that was an absolutely gorgeous wedding dress.
Yeah.
It truly was.
I did a first look with my brothers as well, and they're like, yeah, this is you.
This is you.
This is you.
Yeah. No, that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. Was there a part of the day specifically that went by faster than you expected? Is there any part that feels like a blur or flash, like where you're like, wow?
Oh my gosh. I think after our first dance and my dance with my dad and mother, and the money dance, everything else was
just went
like
quick for you.
Flash.
The end of the dancing at the end of the night, and we'd had a couple drinks, but not crazy because we were driving away from the venue.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it was definitely very much we kind of looked over. We were all on the dance floor, and we looked over, and it had gotten dark. The lights were on, and 90% of the people had left.
Yeah.
But
it was
so
and that's how it usually goes.
Yeah.
It's usually just the people that want to stay and dance and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they're till the end of the night.
Yeah. No, okay, that's cool. And then this is always a fun one for me. Did you actually eat your dinner?
Oh my gosh, yes.
So many couples.
We made sure. Please eat. Like I'm looking. Eat something, because that's gonna keep up your social battery. Honestly,
so many people don't.
We made it a point, and our wedding planner, again, Amanda, she was great. She said, like, make sure you guys eat. Give yourself an allotted time, whether it be 15, 20 minutes. Eat something.
I always tell them, like, when I walk up and like I'm like, hey, we're 10 minutes away from speeches. I will literally look at their plates. I'll be like, do you need more time? Because you guys should eat. And they go, I'm gonna tell you, like 90% of the time, they're like, oh, we're not hungry. I took a couple bites, but let's just keep going. It's like, okay,
yeah,
I will do as you wish. I advise against it.
Yeah, so that's good that you guys did, because a lot of people, and because it's just like, it's like, you paid for this.
Yeah, no.
Like, you paid for this food.
Yes.
And you're not even going to eat it.
And that's another great thing that I think we did. Sorry to cut you off.
No
was
worries.
when we had the tables go to grab the buffet, we had them walk past us and take a picture with us at the sweetheart table.
We also
we had a photo with everybody at our wedding.
Yeah.
We had everyone play a game.
Yes, the
as
game.
well. So that gave us some time to like eat some food and get some nutrition in us.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't see you guys were eating when I was bringing the tables up. You guys were eating in between. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
And yeah, because I've heard stories like another friend of mine, like she paid a bunch of money for food, and then the wedding night she just had cheese and crackers.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
a lot of
like,
people.
yeah, I'm like, that's not what
Yeah.
I want to do.
Yeah. No.
We picked Portos because we like Portos.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We're gonna
if
eat
I
Portos.
paid for it,
Yeah.
gosh darn it, I'm gonna eat it.
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What is something after that maybe your guests couldn't stop talking about? Is there anything that like
Oh my
people
gosh.
like what is the most mentioned thing like to you guys about? Was there anything specific?
I think honestly everyone appreciated everything, but I think our ceremony, because it was just so intimate.
Okay. Yeah.
They talked about the ceremony. Also, they talked about the food. They talked about the music.
Yeah.
The cupcakes was something that stood out,
Nice.
and the florals that everyone like. I've had comments that like, are you worried that they're gonna figure out they're fake?
Yeah.
They didn't know that
Yeah.
they were fake. They actually thought they were real, and they were like, these arrangements were
Compliments.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's a good feeling.
compliments. And then I was like, yeah, thank you very much. It wasn't Dollar Tree.
We talked about that. Your ceremony was definitely
Mhm.
very emotional, very spiritual, very
Mhm.
God driven. And then you did the first look. You talked about that.
Yeah.
And would you recommend it? Like obviously, I'm thinking
Yeah.
clear. Yes, you guys loved it
100%.
No, like I think it's very important to have that moment where you're able
Before
to
the
absorb-
ceremony.
Before the ceremony.
Yeah,
To just absorb.
this seems to be the ongoing opinion of
Yeah.
most people.
And I feel like it gave me an opportunity because honestly, if I had seen her at the end of the aisle, I would have been a wreck.
Yeah,
Absolute.
Yeah.
I would not have been able to compose myself. I would not have been able to, and so seeing that first look and then stepping away, and she did a first look with her dad and her brothers and all of
Yeah.
that stuff. It gave me the time to recompose, get myself together.
Yeah.
Okay, I have an absolutely gorgeous fiance that I'm about to
Right.
marry.
Yeah.
She's gonna walk down. She's gonna be that beautiful. I know what to expect, and I still teared up when she walked down the aisle.
No, yeah.
Like,
I think out of the day, I remember the first looks the most.
Mhm.
Like the first looks and the ceremony the most,
Most.
because we were able to pause and take in
Well,
a
it's
deep
just you
breath,
two.
and it's
Yeah.
just us two.
Because everything else is with everybody else, and
Oh
that's
my goodness,
that's like
yeah.
once
and
it's going.
that's probably going to be the last moment of
Yeah.
the day where
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just going to be you two.
Yeah, unless
You
you're,
know?
and the only other thing is like a private last dance. That's like the
Yeah.
only other time that
Yeah.
people get like another
Yeah.
moment, just the two of them.
And
in this.
between the first look and when we did our private last dance,
Mhm.
everything else was just, it went by so fast. So
Yeah.
yes, please do a first look.
yeah, absolutely.
What is something that you thought wouldn't matter, but ended up meaning a lot to you? Like so. Let's say it was like it's something you did,
Mhm.
and for me in your story, I feel like it's those centerpieces because
Yeah.
not that you didn't think they would matter, but it seems like those became so much more than centerpieces.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is there anything else at the wedding that was like you're like it was just like a thought to have this, like it was a small piece of the
Mhm.
plan, but then it ended up meaning like it ended up being so much more than just this simple
Yeah.
thing.
I think we did a line dance in honor
You
of
did do that.
Yeah.
our my grandparents who passed. And
Yes.
we did the electric slide, and it was so fun, even though like not everyone knew it. Some
Yeah.
people stumbled through it. I think just like taking in that moment and just having fun, and even seeing like little kids just like come and join us.
Mhm.
It was really fun. And I didn't think it would mean the amount it did, but it meant a lot to me because it was like kind of a mother-daughter dance too, because my mom introduced it.
Yes, your mom
And
introduced
that song and that dance she also had at her wedding as well.
it. Mhm.
So it was just kind of like passing the baton.
Tying things together.
Yeah, tying things together.
And for me, again, it was dancing, but it was still the money dance. I didn't
Yeah.
think that would mean as much to me. I thought it would kind of be honestly, I thought it'd be a nuisance because I'm not a great dancer.
Right.
But getting that time to spend with everybody, and like my aunt raised me for 5-6 years. We didn't do a mother-daughter dance, but I still felt that she deserved a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, my niece who freshly becoming a woman, she's never really been to a formal dance before. She's never danced with anybody.
Mm.
I was the first person that she
It's
danced
really
with.
interesting, actually.
That's which was a crazy feeling for me.
I
to
don't.
be
I don't.
like-
I don't think I've ever had or thought of or put the money dance in the perspective that you guys are putting it right now.
Yeah.
And especially as an outsider, I've never done a money dance for myself, and it's like the way I view it is so different than what you guys are saying. This is like I mean, this is like really gold right here
Mhm.
because just the way I see the money dance, I've seen it as a money dance.
Yeah.
And I do my bit. Let's get the bride and groom some extra honeymoon
Yeah.
cash. Like, let's hook them up. Like, let's
No.
do it. Let's bless them with some extra cash. And it's like, and now I'm going to change that bit because like I'm learning now from you, like that beyond the money, how special
Yeah.
Those
You can
that
have
moments,
can
those
be.
moments
those
can be.
one-on-one
It's,
conversations.
you're literally changing my perspective on
Yeah.
how to view that from the couple's perspective because I've never
Mhm.
experienced it. So there's no way I could ever have that insight.
Yeah.
And for us, I mean, it's not like we were counting. We didn't. To me, I didn't care about the money. If you gave me
It
$1,
was something
$100,
traditional to
or
do.
nothing,
Right. No,
Yeah.
no,
You
no.
know,
I
but it
wouldn't
was,
think you
yeah.
guys were concerned about the actual money
But
No.
yeah,
aspect,
that's definitely
but
been
that is the
Definition of
yeah, that's
the
the
definition of
just like
money
just
dance.
definition wise, just logically, that's what it is. Like, hey,
Yeah.
let's get them in exchange for the dance. You give them money. Like that's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
baseline. But just hearing you say that, like,
No.
you know, like it's you're giving me insight that I've never had before because
Yeah.
I've never heard someone talk about it in that way. So
Mhm.
that's really cool that you're sharing that. Final questions. What's the weirdest advice someone gave you for the wedding, and were they right? Is there anybody that told you something? You're like,
Yeah. My dad said, when we were talking about like looking into a videographer or photographer, he said, what matters is that you just get that one photo. Because you get like a bunch of photos, you could create like a little book of
yeah,
photos and stuff, but do you look at it often? No. What matters is that you get that one photo that you're able to put on the wall and
print,
remember
yeah,
it. Yeah, and he pointed,
commemorate.
and my aunt actually was the one that got their one photo that they have on their wall
Mhm.
all the time, or just like on their
Yep.
bookshelf and everything.
Yeah,
And that kind of like for us, I'm like, for what our budget was and everything, we're just like, okay, what matters is that we just get that one photo. But at the moment I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I want all the photos.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want
sure.
all the photos.
Sure.
Every photo is going to be on
one
the
photo,
wall.
Dad. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like we looked at
But it
all the
makes sense.
photos, but it makes sense, you
yeah.
know?
I agree.
Yeah,
definitely
and
is that
so
one.
we looked at all of our photos, and we both looked at one particular photo, and we're like, "That's it.
Yeah.
That's the photo.
Yeah,
That's what he was talking about." And now I understand.
yeah.
You know?
And I understand because I just had my vow renewal just like on Saturday, and like I got the sneak peeks, and I'm like, oh my god, this is it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm gonna print this guy. And
Yeah.
nobody gave me that advice, but I would agree with you. There's gonna
Yeah.
be that one photo. So he was
Yeah.
right. He was right.
Yeah, he was.
And then last question is, and this could be for both of you.
Mhm.
What advice maybe now, like something that you hadn't thought of before or didn't think of during the process, what
Mhm.
advice would you give your engaged self if you could go back? Something in retrospect, something now
Yeah.
you're here, but if you could go back, what would you tell yourself about this process or the wedding day?
Mhm.
For me, it's going to be a bit personal, and it's don't put too much stress on yourself to make the decisions,
Mhm.
and don't put too much stress on your fiance to make the
Mhm.
decisions, because there were a couple of times where we got upset with each other over
Oh, of course.
little
I mean,
things,
Yeah.
that's human.
because it's a stressful day, it's a stressful moment, and just try to remember that you're doing this because you love that person.
Mhm.
And in the grand scheme of things, these things will either mean the world to you or they'll mean next to nothing,
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so try to make sure that you give each other patience. You're both running on next to nothing. We were
Yeah.
both she was working 2-3 jobs. I had just started a new job, and I was working my butt off at it to
Yeah.
make sure I made a standing for myself. And we were planning a wedding in the
There
meantime.
was a lot of different hats
Mhm.
we were
There
wearing.
was things were thin for a little while,
Yeah.
and making sure that you give your fiance that grace,
Mhm.
give them that peace,
Yeah.
and be that foundation for them to understand.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm here for you no matter what.
Yeah.
I'm here.
And I think also to zone in on the things that are, because there's going to be a lot of different opinions. Everyone's going to want to throw
This
in
is the
their
worst part.
advice.
Mhm.
And I think just with you and your fiance, if I could tell myself, for us to focus in on the things that are worth fighting for and the things that aren't worth the stress.
Mhm.
Like if who's going to sit with who, or what kind of food you're going to have. Just like, what are we going to fight
Yeah.
fight for,
Yeah.
or just vocalize like, this is important to us, so this is how it's going to happen.
Mhm.
Whereas like, I don't really care who walks down with who. If you want to walk down with your wife, that's fine. Or if you want to walk down with
Yeah.
grandpa, that's fine.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not worth a huge fight.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Um,
I get it. Yeah,
not worth the stress.
yeah. Worrying about arguing, debating people,
Mhm.
explaining yourself. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that.
And I think just working on our decisions beforehand and then facing that front so that we're both echoing what we were saying. Because I think after a certain point, we got together and we're like, okay, this is absurd. Like,
Yeah.
we need to zone in
Yeah.
on what we need, what's worth fighting for, what's worth the stress,
Yeah.
and what's worth not
Well,
worth
it's just like the choose your battles, right? It's like
Mhm.
that's a general life thing, but and I would agree with you in the process of planning. It's like even when we were planning our vow renewal, there were things where I just had to like okay, like
Mhm.
you know, like you want that,
Yeah.
even though I don't think we need it, or
Mhm.
it's not something. You know, it's like you have to be respectful because if it's important to them, it should be important to you.
Mhm.
Exactly.
So you know what I mean? Like there were
Mhm.
times where I'm like, I don't even like, I don't want that. I don't
Yeah.
care about that. But it's like, but that's
those
just,
mean
it's-
nothing to me.
but it's
everything.
it's
to her.
disrespectful in a sense, and I know, and I know that, and so it's like, then I have to apologize and say, okay, I'm sorry. Like you know,
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
if it's important, let me go back. If it's important to you, it should be important to me. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, let's do it.
It's a huge
Yeah.
You know, but we're human, you know.
Yeah.
But this is great, introspective, like sharing what you guys are sharing right now because it's a vulnerable thing, but it's like, but you know, to portray like, oh, everything was perfect and behind closed doors, it's like that's not real life, and that's not
Mm-mm.
relationships, and that's not how marriage works either.
No.
So thank you for like,
Yeah.
I mean,
of
being a little
course.
vulnerable and sharing that you guys had those struggles because that's
Mhm.
real life. That's
Yeah.
It is. I mean, I think we wanted to elope like 3 times. We would switch back and forth.
back and
we would,
forth to convince the other
but
one.
at the end of the day, we're just like, you know what? We're so thankful that we
Yeah.
went through, we got married, and
made it.
we made it, and now we're here.
Yeah.
You know, talking about it.
Because we both knew that, hey, we can elope, but if we let the other one make that decision and we finally go through with that,
One of us is
one
gonna
of us
be
is going to regret it,
disappointed.
and one of us is going to
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We've already put this much effort, this much time, this much energy into it.
Mhm.
Go through with it.
Yeah.
Follow through. And,
Yeah.
and make it worth the effort that you've put into it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. That's going to basically be the end of the interview from my side. Is there anything you guys want to share? Anything that we didn't talk about? Anything on your minds before we close out? Anything you guys, any last thoughts?
Chances, honestly, we were so thankful because even though, we did spend like close to 17K on our wedding, we were blessed to like receive like
We received
balance out.
there were people in our lives who helped us out, and we were very fortunate for that.
Yeah.
But there are also
Oh,
some
yes,
times there are some times that when people will give you finances and they'll give you help, but they expect something for it.
Right.
And,
Even
and
if they
even
say-
even if they say, "Hey, this is no strings attached. There's no rules on this. Nothing." And then, well, wait a
It's
minute.
coming.
I gave you that. You need to tell me what you're going to spend it on. Or I gave you that. I want to be included in this. Or I want this special
Yeah.
permission.
Oh,
I
this
need
is
these
not good.
special guests.
Yeah.
So be aware if you're going to accept something like
Yeah.
that,
That's a good point.
you have to have that conversation beforehand. And if it's going to put a strain on the relationship that you have with that person,
Mm-hmm.
don't accept it.
Yeah.
That's one
100%.
thing that I would definitely say is huge for us is maybe we would have changed that idea after
Yeah.
the fact, because
Yeah.
it definitely did put a strain on a relationship for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was very hard for us in the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And even now,
Yeah.
because there were moments where it's like, why are we putting ourselves through it just for this?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I think just being aware of that.
So it sounds like just to like let's like just to concise, like make that more concise. It sounds like
Mhm.
be careful who you accept monetary help from,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and
Absolutely.
what strings
Mhm.
and what demands could be made of you after, even though
Mhm.
it was proposed as this is
No
just
strings
for you to
attached.
use,
Yeah. Yeah.
no strings attached. This is a very dangerous game. I've
Mhm.
been through that experience, not for this, not for my any not for my wedding or vow renewal,
Mhm.
but there's been times where I'm like, I should have just, I should have figured this out on my own. Like I
Yeah.
should not have accepted this help
Yes.
because now it's bad news
Yeah.
and it's caused me
Absolutely.
major problems.
Mhm.
And I know exactly what you're talking about, but I think it's even for what I did, I think this is your wedding.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's even more of a dangerous game,
100%.
Very much so.
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
dangerous game to play. Like that's a really deep piece of advice because, that's a very personal thing, too, that you had to go through.
Mhm.
And so, that's a great thing, like to share with people because
Yeah.
people do want to help out and they do offer, but it's like,
Mhm.
for us, um, like in the past, because I've learned those lessons, I I didn't want anybody. I didn't ask it. I didn't want anybody to help,
No. Yeah.
because I have been through that experience for different reasons,
Mhm.
and it's just I agree with you. That's a great piece of advice. Be careful. Yeah.
It can be very difficult and scary even to be like, okay, what do
Yeah.
we and then you have to go back and go, do we give it back? Just
Yeah.
because is it worth just giving it back and dealing with
Just
it?
yeah.
You know?
But
But in the end, everything worked out
Yeah.
and
we had a
everything's
beautiful
fine.
wedding.
It was a beautiful wedding, but just
Beautiful
be
memories.
aware that that would be my biggest piece of advice.
No,
Be aware.
it's a good one. No, because it does. And then I'm just before we wrap this up, I'm just going to say that you guys aren't alone in that because I do so many weddings. Um, there's been weddings where I don't even talk to the bride and groom,
Mhm.
and I'm talking to mom,
Mhm.
Yep. Yeah.
and I'm talking to mom, and I get to the wedding, and it's mom and dad's friends. There's no only friends of the bride and groom is their bridal party,
Yeah.
and the wedding does not feel like the couple. It does not
Mhm.
feel like them, and it's just like,
Mhm.
and I feel bad because yes, they are having a wedding and they are getting married, but it doesn't feel like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to talk to the couple,
No,
or
of course.
or I'll do the music consultation like we did where we go over everything, and it's like the bride and mom,
Mhm.
and it's like she's answering for her, and it's like,
No.
and it's but it becomes really obvious that that's because most likely mom or dad or somebody funded this whole thing
Yeah.
and they want to have control of it.
Yes.
And I'm sure in the beginning it wasn't like that, like, oh, we'll help you out,
Yeah.
and then it turns into this like, okay,
Mhm.
why are you doing that? How much are you spending on that? It's like,
Yeah. No,
you know
100%. Yeah. Whereas like we took it as like this is our first group project together.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just me, it's not just him. It's not me and my mom.
yeah,
It's us.
Yeah.
And it's about the story of us.
yes,
So just I think setting up those healthy boundaries
Yeah.
in the beginning and
Mhm.
also just being if you're going to accept certain assistance
yeah,
and hear the words no string attached, still be prepared.
yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
because I've been through it. I think most people watching have probably at some point been through it, and and it's hard because I am not like that. If somebody asks me for money, I don't expect it to come back,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I don't even care what you do with it. If you say it's to fix your car and you go spend it on something else, or I see a picture of you eating out, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
that's your choice.
I
Like,
had a teacher in high school that taught me that lesson, Miss Almeida, and I'll give her credit every time because she told us one time, she's like, if you're gonna don't ever let somebody borrow money.
Mm-hmm.
Borrowing puts a strain on any
don't borrow,
relationship you're
just
in.
give
Don't
it to them.
borrow, just
Give
give.
freely, and if it's not
Yeah.
as much as they needed when they asked to borrow, that's fine, but give it to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't borrow it because if you expect it back, then every
Yep,
time you
I
see that
agree.
person, hey,
You're gonna have that grudge.
Yeah.
where are we at?
Mhm.
What are
Yeah.
we doing? Whereas if you give it to them freely, it's all right. Well,
Because
I
borrow,
hope to
yeah,
see you
because the
used it
word
well.
borrow is it's such a stronger word than people think because there's a deal made.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like borrow.
Yep.
And then what happens is it can ruin relationships where now this person starts avoiding you because in the back of their mind, every time they see you, they know
They
they
know.
they owe you because they borrowed. And
Mhm.
I'm in agreement with you. I hate that word. And it's like if people come to me and if I can help and like I want to, can I borrow? I'll say, how much do you need? And it's like, well, here's the deal. Like this, I'm just gonna give you this.
Mhm.
Like I don't
Yeah.
want you to borrow it. Like
Mhm.
just take it,
Yeah.
and then and use it for what you need.
Yeah.
And because that word borrow is bad news.
No. Yeah. No.
Bad news.
Absolutely.
No. Okay. So, thank you guys again for being here. Yeah, that was a really good. There was a lot of insightful things, a lot of good information, a lot of vulnerability there with you guys. Some of the stuff you're sharing that could be really useful to people, and
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have had similar experiences like that, so they're going to relate. And then couples that are currently in these situations and walking these lines right now, it's going to be helpful. So
Mhm.
thank you guys so much for being here.
Of course.
I'm looking forward to having you
Yeah.
for charcuterie. We're gonna have a charcuterie episode. I'm not sure when that will come out, but Kalana, we're gonna do a charcuterie episode. We're talk everything charcuterie.
Yes.
So if please, if you're watching this, wherever you're watching it, Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys are at, please subscribe. More great content always coming every month for you guys, diving deep into these wedding topics. So thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned, subscribe, and come back for more content. Thank you.